Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey, welcome back to Daily Dose Radio this week. Well, you know what you found. This is artisanal Bible study that's organic and fresh. And all this week we're going to be looking at Psalm 87. It's an interesting psalm because we've got 7 verses here. And the verses it's very confusing the way it's built, the way it's structured, the imagery, but the devotional content is outstanding in this psalm. So it's not written quite like the other psalms, and many commentators and scholars down through the centuries have really had a hard time classifying this psalm and what it is and what it's about. Some say it's a Zion song, and there are several of those. We've looked at a couple already. This might fit into that category, but maybe not exactly. Zion is mentioned here. The city of God is the subject in this psalm. This is being said to the Lord, so there's really no prayer here, and the Lord speaking to us necessarily, but this is about Him, about His city, about the believers who follow Him. So it's a very interesting song. We don't have any historical background for this psalm either. It just says this is collected by the sons of Korah. So of the sons of Korah is the very first piece, a psalm, a song. Now we've seen that before where those two are combined in just that way, a psalm, a song. So this is of the sons of Korah. Then we have, jumping right into the story here, right off the bat, verse 1, His foundation is in the holy mountains. So there's no lead up to it. It just kind of jumps right into the verse. That statement, His foundation is in the holy mountains, comes at the end of verse 1. The beginning of verse 1 tells us who it's by. Of the sons of Korah, a psalm, a song. His foundation is in the holy mountains. It just kind of blam, bursts right into that first verse. Let me read verses 1 and 2. His foundation is in the holy mountains. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Okay, now I'm going to stop right there today and just treat those 2 verses. Why is that? Let's ask the question now, why? Why does the Lord love the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob? Well, you have to go back to Deuteronomy chapter 12. And in Deuteronomy chapter 12, we were told, But unto the place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes to put His name there, even unto His habitation shall ye seek, and thither shalt thou come. And thither you shall bring your burnt offerings, and your sacrifices, and your tithes, and your heave offerings of your hand, and your vows, and your freewill offerings, and the firstlings of your herds, and of your flocks. And there you shall eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that ye put your hand unto, ye and your households, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. So that's Deuteronomy chapter 12, 5 through 7. And as I said, this answers the question, why does the Lord love the gates of Zion? Because there in that city is where the temple was built. That's the place that the Lord chose out of all the thousands in Judah and Israel. He chose to put His name on that hillside. And that's where the people were to come and rejoice before Him and meet with Him and worship Him and honor and glorify His name. So why does the Lord love the gates of Zion? Because that's where He's made His name to dwell. So let's go back up to verse 1. His foundation is in the holy mountains. Why are they holy? Because the Lord has chosen that spot to be His very own. He has blessed it with His own very presence. He has placed His name there. And as He told Solomon, I'm going to look at this place and hear the prayers made here. That's why He's so in love with it, and that's why, to Him, it's holy. His foundation is there. Why? Because He placed it there. He has chosen for Himself this spot above all the other places in all the world. This is a good spot for us to understand the whole idea of God's election. He's chose this place for His worship and His glory and His name to dwell above all the others that are in the land. Okay, I hope you'll join me again tomorrow as we look at a very beautiful verse in verse 3, and I'll see you then on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.